Our opponent previews continue here on GoSycamores.com. Now, it's going to be a while till the Redbirds come to town in Terre Haute. It's going to be November 10th. It will actually be Senior Day. And it's weird that I'm saying Senior Day when we haven't even started fall camp. But to talk about the Redbirds and the year they will have in 2018, welcoming a good friend, a popular voice in the Missouri Valley Conference, is Dick Ludtke, the voice of the Illinois State Redbirds. Dick, like I mentioned, it's going to be a long time till I see you at Memorial Stadium. But the good news is I know you're probably excited to get back out to Hancock Stadium and call some Redbird football.
I am. I mean, last year, Luke, was a disappointment for the Redbirds, although they did post a winning season. And, you know, that it's almost a little strange to say that because if you go back, 15 years or more in Illinois State's football history, a winning season would have been just a huge triumph. But the bar has been set a little higher here in recent years, and so the Birds are hoping for a better season than the 6-5 one they posted a year ago.
When you get to fall camp, Dick, and you start talking to Coach Spack and this team, what do you feel his kind of main message is going to be to his guys, knowing it seems like you have a lot of experience coming back, and it helps when you have a guy by the name of Jake Colby at the quarterback spot?
That's absolutely right, and it's Jake's senior season right now, and the Birds are looking for a big season from him, and I think the feeling is good. I mean, Coach Spack felt great about spring practice. He does have, after several seasons where there was almost no turnover on his staff, he did clean house a little bit in the off season, and so it's a very new staff here, veteran coaches, but new to Illinois State. Although several of them have Illinois State ties, and I just sense a real feeling of enthusiasm among the coaching staff that I really hadn't felt for the past couple of years, and so hopefully, from the Redbirds' perspective, that's going to lead to another really good season.
You know, we spent so much time talking about the offense defensively for this Redbird team, and we saw on display early last year of how dynamic it could be. Even though Indiana State couldn't move the ball offensively against the Redbirds really didn't have many issues stopping Indiana State because of that dynamic defense they had. I know you mentioned there were definitely some times where Southern Illinois was able to run up on the Redbirds a year ago and some games throughout the year. What do you think are some of the main storylines defensively that you're anxious to look at when you get to fall camp? And that will be some main topics of conversation for this Redbird program.
Well, again, a new defensive coordinator. And by the way, the new offensive coordinator, Kurt Beathard, who was here previously, worked with Jake when he was a freshman. And so Colby, I think, would tell you he's excited to have Coach Beathard back working with him. Coach Beathard took kind of a 2-year leave of absence from football, and he's back with the Redbirds. And the Birds have a new defensive coordinator as well, Travis Niekamp, who is a former standout player here. And so, I mean, defense has been the strength of the program since Coach Spack arrived here. He's a defensive kind of guy. He played defense. In fact, he was his own defensive coordinator for a couple of years during his tenure here. But he feels great about Coach Niekamp, and I don't know that you'll notice a big difference in the way the Redbirds defend, in their schemes, in their defensive philosophies, but they have the talent to do the job on the although they did lose. They lost their top 4 tacklers from a year ago, but they have some really talented players fitting into the system here, and I think defense will continue to be a strength for the Redbirds.
I got to tell you, Dick, one of the questions, and no offense to Sycamore fans who may be listening and watching this, the one question I get asked is, Luke, how many wins do you think would be a successful year this year? I'm not going to ask you that for the Redbirds, but in just what do you think at the end of the day, when the season's all said and done, that Redbird fans would go, you know what, this is a step forward. We're getting back to where we feel the expectation should be for this program?
Well, I think what they have to do to please people here is make the playoffs. Preferably make it with a high enough seed to get a first-round bye, but making the playoffs would be satisfactory, I think, to most fans here, and that's probably going to mean 7 victories. The strength of the Missouri Valley Football Conference is such that teams with only 6 wins have, from that league, have made the playoffs before, including the Redbirds 2 seasons ago. But I would guess 7 is the number that they'll need. They do have a game against an FBS opponent on the road, Colorado State, so that's a tough one to win. They're at North Dakota State. So they can't afford, I mean, assuming they're going to lose those 2, they can't afford too many more losses to get that 7-4 record, or preferably an 8-3 or a 9-2, which would give them a nice seed in the playoffs. But the key is to make it among that field of 24.
Are you kidding me, Dick? I thought it was easy to get wins in the Valley. I mean, can't you just look up and down that schedule and easily go, oh, we can pencil that one in there? I mean, it is amazing when you think of, I know it seems like every year one of those conversations we always have, whether it's you and me, whether I talk to Fritzy about it, whether it's whoever across the league, Mike Reese at Southern, it seems like that conversation each and every year is how this football league just continues to get better and deeper.
And you know what? I mean, the Sycamores, as you well know, were 0-11 a year ago, but nobody is looking past them. I mean, there's tremendous respect throughout the league for Coach Mallory, and it's obvious that Indiana State's program is on the way up. And so I mean, every game, you look at North Dakota State and you wonder how you can compete with them sometimes, and South Dakota State and South Dakota and Youngstown State, Northern Iowa, there are so many great teams, but you don't look past an Indiana State or a Southern Illinois or a Missouri State because, I mean, look what happened at Carbondale for the Redbirds last year. Every game is a challenge, no question.
No doubt. Every game is a challenge. I know every game is a joy for the Redbird faithful to get to listen to this guy's voice. And Dick Luckey, the voice of the Illinois State Redbirds. Dick, it is football time yet again. I know it's going to be a while till we see you at Memorial Stadium, but look forward to seeing you at Memorial Stadium later this year and appreciate the time here before camp.
Well, hopefully both teams have had good seasons to that point when we meet on November 10th, so I'll look forward to that gathering at Memorial Stadium as well, Luke. See you then.